Well, our reporter Heidi Giokos has been tracking the story. She sat through, in fact, all of those commission hearings for much of last year. Heidi's with me now here on set to talk about this moment. And Heidi, I want us to go back to the background of the story and the terms of reference ahead of the start of this investigation.
Exactly, Tim McKinley. I think it's so important for viewers to understand why the President decided in the first place to have this Commission of Inquiry. It was established in October of 2018, where the President announced he will be implementing this Commission of Inquiry. But also key to that, as you can see on your screen, the terms of reference of the inquiry for the inquiry to investigate was whether or not PIC investment decisions broke any laws or internal policies, whether or not there was any victimization of any employees, whether internal whistleblowers were protected or whether they were disregarded, board meetings, whether or not they were properly reflected, and confidential information was leaked to third parties, whether or not that happened, and as I mentioned, PIC employees being victimized. So it's imperative for everyone to understand why this commission was established in the first place. And as you can see, the terms of reference stem from the fact that all these allegations were brought to the public. One specific key whistleblower to all of this was UDM leader Bantu Holomisa, who made it very clear to the President that in actual fact there was something brewing at the PIC. It is the largest asset manager on the African continent. It controls government employees' pension funds. It needs to be investigated. And that's when the President decided to establish this Commission of Inquiry. It had 3 commissioners, where we saw Judge Lex Mpati, as well as the former Reserve Bank Governor Jill Marcus and Emmanuel Lediga, chairing this Commission of Inquiry.
And on the key findings, it's quite a lengthy report, some 900+ pages, but it's not going to make for very happy reading for people like the former head of the PIC, Dan Matjila.
No, not for him, but for me. I cannot wait to dig deeper into that report. But some of the key findings that we're actually seeing in this report, I mean, it is over almost 1,000 pages, but some of the key findings speak to the fact that there was substantial impropriety, and that's basically why the Commission was established, to establish whether or not there was any wrongdoing, whether anybody was going through investments at the PIC to make sure that they benefit and not government employees' pension funds. Another key finding, poor and ineffective governance. Inadequate oversight. This is key because the investments that were made, this was brought into light throughout the hearings and throughout the witnesses, that there was complete oversight. There was pushing of deals without following due diligence, confusion regarding the role and the function of the board. Another key finding, given the fact that the board was heavily implicated. Former chairperson of the PIC board, which was also the former Deputy Finance Minister, Mondli Gugubele, he was also heavily implicated in this. Dishonesty by Dr. Matjila, that's another key finding. He was the center of all of this. He was basically the man that had to answer to all the decisions that were made. The report also finds that he abused his office. So basically he was not acting as a CEO should have, and that he used the board as a rubber stamp for the decisions that were basically driven by Matjila. He was evasive. The report is scathing when it comes to Dr. Matjila. As I said, he was the center of this also. We'll dig a little deeper into this report, given the fact that it is almost 1,000 pages and I can't read that fast.
And there's likely to be much reaction from people like Dan Matjila, who don't come off too glowingly. Heidi Giokos, let's leave it there. Leave you to read through the rest of that.